Hello everyone. So in this video I want to cover one of the most interesting topics in mathematics, at least for me, and that is the concept of an infinite series. And it really is fascinating if you think about the fact that there are instances where you can take an infinite number of things, add them together, and get a finite result. And in fact, there's entire branches of mathematics dedicated to understanding the type of behavior associated with these types of infinite series. But to give you an example of what we're looking at, I want to go over a proof that a half plus a half squared, so plus a fourth, plus an eighth, plus a 16th, all the way to infinity is equal to 1. And you may look at this and say, okay, well, how do we even really begin proving something like this? And this is one of the tricks about mathematics, is it is about creativity. We often think of mathematics as being just plugging in numbers to formulas and all of that, but there is an art to it. And so an easy way to prove this is to look at a square. And let's say we have a square of length and width 1. And so we know the area of the square is just 1 times 1, and so it's 1 unit squared. Whatever units we're dealing with, it doesn't matter. Now, the thing to recognize about this is if I break this square up into smaller pieces, the area of the total square has to be equal to the area of each one of those smaller pieces added together. And so what I can do is I can just cut this in half. And so notice that the area of this is 1/2, and the area of this is equal to 1/2, right? So I'm not going to write that, but notice I can then cut this in half, right? So now I have a quarter and a quarter, which is certainly equal to 1/2. And so I can write this as 1/2 squared. And then I can cut this in half as well. And notice if I keep going on to infinity, right, I get 1/2 plus 1/2 squared, right, plus an 1/8, plus a 64th. But the sum total of all of these areas has to be equal to 1. And so that gives me 1/2 plus 1/2 squared plus 1/2 cubed on to infinity actually does equal to 1. I really do find this interesting.